Welcome dear friends to my video lecture on Kothari Commission and its educational implications to the modern education. So I try to give as early as possible because only two videos so far I have given, Tamil and English. Kothari Commission in English I am giving, afterwards Tamil I will be giving. Here, how you should write if it is asked, what is the importance of Kothari Commission in Indian education, and what are its implications or what is its impact on modern Indian education. If the question is like that, this is the nice answer. Anyway, just keep this in mind. Okay, let us straight away enter into the topic, and I will give you here and there some explanations, some instructions. See, the Kothari Education Commission objectives, background, members involved, recommendations and educational implications. The Kothari Education Commission is one of the most significant educational commissions in India's history. Headed by Dr. Daulat Singh Kothari, this commission aimed to thoroughly assess the Indian education system and offer recommendations to make it more relevant, inclusive and progressive. This is what you write in the introduction part, yes. Its report served as a cornerstone in shaping educational policies, particularly teacher education, which plays a crucial role in strengthening the foundation of a nation's schooling system. What are the objectives of the Kothari Education Commission? The Kothari Commission's primary objective was to create a comprehensive educational policy that would address the various needs of the country. The specific objectives were as follows: to achieve national integration. The Commission aimed to foster a sense of national unity through education, promoting social unity, social cohesion among diverse cultural and linguistic groups. In other words, different cultural and linguistic groups. The second objective would be to provide social and economic development. Education was seen or envisioned or seen as a means to reduce poverty, inequality and economic disparities, preparing individuals to contribute meaningfully to the nation's economy. The third one will be to increase productivity and technical knowledge. Recognizing the importance of science and technology, the Commission advocated for an education system that encouraged technical skills, innovation and research. The fourth objective of this Kothari Commission will be to modernize Indian society. This Kothari Commission sought to introduce the reforms to make the educational system progressive, secular and forward-thinking, embracing modern educational practices. The fifth objective of this Kothari Commission would be to improve teacher education, emphasizing that teachers play a pivotal role in the quality of education. The Commission recommended improvements to teacher training programs to ensure well-prepared, motivated and effective educators. Now let us discuss on the background of the Kothari Education Commission. Why this was set up by the government. The Kothari Education Commission was set up by the government of India in 1964 at a time when the country was facing numerous socio-economic challenges, and that is one of the factors. Numerous socio-economic challenges, and in order to address that in education, this commission was set up to give recommendations. The Indian education system was largely shaped by colonial legacies, which emphasized rote learning, blind memory, limited inclusivity. Only some people could join the education institution, that is limited inclusivity, and failed to meet the needs of a newly independent nation. Our needs of the independent India were so many, but it failed to meet the needs of a newly independent nation at that time, at that point of time. So they needed a new change in the educational system itself. That is why Kothari Commission. The commission was tasked tasked with assessing the existing system and recommending a structured approach to education that would support India's goals for modernization and development. The Commission's work was groundbreaking as it marked a shift towards a holistic view of education, incorporating various social, cultural, and economic factors into its recommendations. I hope you understood this, I think. No? So, a lot of changes because of this commission. So, a holistic view of education was given in terms of social, cultural, economic factors in India. So, that is the idea here. Who are the members involved in the Kothari Education Commission? The Kothari Education Commission was composed of 17 members with diverse backgrounds in education, administration, and public service. Dr. Daulat Singh Kothari, the then chairman of the University Grants Commission (UGC), was appointed as the chairman of the commission, this Kothari Commission. Other prominent members included educators, scientists, social scientists, and experts from various fields to ensure a well-rounded perspective on India's educational needs. The diversity among commission members contributed significantly to a balanced and comprehensive set of recommendations. What are the recommendations on teacher education? The Kothari education recommendations on teacher education were extensive and transformative, aiming to professionalize and improve the quality of teachers. What are the key recommendations? Improvement of teacher training programs. The Commission stressed the need for rigorous training programs that included theoretical and practical elements. It emphasized the importance of training teachers in psychology, sociology, pedagogy, and subject specialization. Then continuous professional development. The Commission recommended regular in-service training and workshops to ensure that teachers remained updated with the new educational practices and pedagogical developments. Then attracting talent to the teaching profession. Of course, the same thing was there in secondary education commission also. I think we could think about it. To address the shortage of qualified teachers, the commission suggested better salaries, improved working conditions, and other incentives to attract competent individuals to the teaching profession. Then setting up standards for teacher education, benchmark, standard or quality measure that was set up for teacher education. The Commission recommended establishing clear standards for teacher education programs, including curriculum development, teaching methodologies, and assessment methods to maintain quality across institutions. Role of supervisory and support staff. It highlighted the importance of mentorship and support for new teachers, advocating for experienced teachers to guide and support their professional development. Support for their professional development. Yes. Then creation of research facilities. Another important aspect for the first time they spoke about was research facilities in teacher education. The Commission encouraged research in teacher education, particularly in areas like classroom management, instructional strategies, and child development to improve educational practices based on data and analysis. What are the educational implications of the Kothari Commission? The recommendations of the Kothari Education Commission had far-reaching implications for Indian education, particularly in the realm of teacher education. These implications include, number one, shift towards a learner-centric approach. For the first time in India that happened. Learner-centered education we had because of this commission. The Commission's emphasis on teacher quality and modern pedagogical techniques contributed to a shift from rote learning to a more student-centered approach. Teachers were trained to focus on individual student needs and foster critical thinking and creativity. Then increased focus on teacher accountability and standards. Teachers need to be highly accountable and they should be of great quality. That is what they expected. So increased focus on the teacher accountability and standards. The recommendations led to the establishment of clear standards for teacher training, which over time increased accountability among educators and improved the consistency of teaching quality across schools. And after that we had a certain amount of quality. The quality was being increasing, and increasing up to this day, no doubt about it. But that's the seed, that planted by this Kothari Commission. That way we could argue as promotion of inclusive education by advocating for a national education system that bridges cultural and linguistic divides. The Kothari Commission helped to promote inclusive education, with the teachers being trained to handle students from diverse backgrounds. Then encouragement of research-based teaching. The recommendation to establish research facilities for teacher education laid the foundation for evidence-based practices in Indian education. As a result, there has been a gradual increase in the use of data and research findings in teaching methods and educational policies. Then strengthening of teacher support systems, another important recommendation for teacher education. The focus on continuous professional development led to the establishment of networks, workshops and mentoring programs for teachers, which has helped them adapt to changing educational needs and challenges over time. Strengthening of teacher support system, a very important one. Networks, workshops, mentoring programs, in-service, pre-service, in-service, all these things, refresher courses, all these things were strengthening teachers. They were all part of teacher support systems instituted by or recommended by this commission, that is Kothari Education Commission. Sorry for the disturbance. Hello. சொல்லுங்க. வர சொல்கிறாரா? இந்த ஒரு நிமிஷம், ஒரு 10 நிமிஷத்தில் வந்துடுறேன், பேசிட்டு வந்துடுறேன். So, how will you conclude this? That's very important. How do you conclude this? That is, the Kothari Education Commission remains a landmark in Indian educational reform, providing a blueprint that reshaped teacher education and the larger educational system. Its emphasis on improving teacher quality, establishing standards and fostering inclusivity has had long-lasting effects on Indian education. By enhancing the professionalism, accountability and effectiveness of teachers, the Commission's recommendations continue to support the goal of providing quality education to all, which is essential for social, economic and cultural development. The vision of the Kothari Commission resonates even today, serving as a foundation for future reforms and advancement in Indian education. So this is the summary form I am just giving you. Kothari Education Commission Introduction. One of the most significant educational commissions in India, headed by Dr. Daulat Singh Kothari, aimed to assess the education system and recommend reforms, shaped policies, especially in teacher education. What are the objectives? National integration. It promoted unity through education. Then social and economic development, reducing poverty and inequality, increase productivity and technical knowledge, focus on science, technology and research, modernization of society, progressive and secular education, improve teacher education, strengthen teacher training programs. What is the background? Established in 1964 by the Government of India. Addressed the challenges of colonial education system, rote learning, exclusivity, focused on a structured, modern and inclusive education system, considered socio-economic and cultural factors in its recommendations. How many members? 17 members from Education, Science and Administration, chaired by Dr. Daulat Singh Kothari, included educators, scientists and social scientists, ensured a balanced and comprehensive approach. What are the recommendations on teacher education? Improvement of teacher training program, strong focus on theory plus practical training, training in psychology, pedagogy and subject specialization, continuous professional development, regular workshops, in-service training for teachers, attracting talent to the teaching profession, better salaries, working conditions and incentives, setting standards for teacher education, clear curriculum, teaching methodologies and assessment, role of mentors and support staff, senior teachers to guide and support new educators, encouraging research in teacher education, focus on classroom management, instructional strategies and child development. Education implications. Shift to learner-centric approach, moving away from rote learning. Higher teacher accountability and standards, improved quality and consistency. Promotion of inclusive education, bridge cultural and linguistic divides. Encouragement of teacher-based teaching, use of data, research in education. Strengthening of teacher support systems, networks, mentoring programs for teachers. Conclusion, it's a landmark reform in Indian education, strengthen teacher education, accountability and inclusivity, blueprint for future reforms and advancements, continues to influence Indian education and policies today. So different questions are there. Now I have to rush. Very sorry that I'll give this later. But this summary form, please you have the practice. Take down all this and then go through the notes or notes which you are having in your own notebooks, and then try to address these small points in the summary. That's how you can practice all the essay type, discrete type questions in but don't feel lethargic, because just the points are given in the what you call in like PPT, that bullet points are given. You just go one by one, and then try to understand, think about it, and then write it in your own words. You go through the words, yes, but then you write it in your own words, and then see how far it is good, whether you are satisfied or not. All these things you yourself will know. Mere studying of this will not help, because all this, but you need practice. That's what everybody says. I am also saying that. Unless you have the practice, we cannot write down there. Quickly you have to write everything, all the points. That means you need to have some practice. Now you have ample time. Only in July, as the calendar says, only in July it is going to be conducted. So you have 3 months. So every day you have practice. Have practice of all these essays. I'm sure you will be able to get through in PG, TRB so nicely. You will become a great professor in colleges. God bless you abundantly. Let us meet in other video lectures. Right. Thank you very much for your presence. I have to rush now. Yes.